Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy. Swirl to Investment. Hello, how's everybody doing? Had a little bit of technical difficulties, so sorry about. Uh, I think I did the quickest live I've ever did in my life just now, but I lost my internet for a split second, so sorry about that. So if you see two lives with the same title, it just means one got cut off, and I had to redo it here. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to come on here tonight and wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I hope everybody had a good Christmas today, and hopefully you had a good year, and hopefully every next year is even better. Okay, and I wanted to make this live, and it's going to be a quick live. This ain't going to be too long tonight. I know it's Christmas and everybody wants to be with their families, but I did want to go on tonight, and I wanted to you know give a message to black women, okay? And this hit my heart because I get emails, and even in the chat I get messages from black women, and it breaks my heart when I hear black women say that you know other non-black men aren't interested in them, not pursuing them, and having doubts. Okay, and look, interracial dating and marriage is something that's not in the norm, um, and you got to get out of your comfort zone. And most people like to be comfortable. Most people like to be, with no drama involved, you might say. They want to go where nobody's going to give them a hard time, and they just want to go along to get along and worry about what people think, and that's what's really going on here. Non-black men very much desire black women, okay? Um Now they're not going running your neighborhoods, pounding on your doors to look for you to marry them. Okay, but if you look at numbers, it's shifting more and more. People are interracially dating and marrying more black women, white men, and black women and other non black men. And I hate to see women that have doubt. Okay, and when it comes to black women, white men, we have we're so much alike. It's not even funny. It's like we have the same. We deal with kind of the same things in a way. Um, we believe black women ain't coming for us, or they're not interested. Okay, that's the belief we have. Just like black women have that belief, and I tell black women that ain't true. It just people. A lot of people don't have the courage to get out of their comfort zone, and sadly, a lot of people don't go for what they want. They don't go for it. They don't pursue who they really want to be with because they're worried about what their mom and dad think, what their friends think, what society thinks, and it's a shame. And it's sad, and it breaks my heart to see that. And you guys know how I feel about black women, right? And I don't like to see black women with doubt because black women are the most successful women on the earth. They are. In America, they're leading the way with education, entrepreneurship, and us as white men, when we marry black women, we're getting a better result than when we marry women in our own community, right? So that shows the value of black women. And if we're not interested in black women, why do our marriages last longer with black women than any other group of women? I mean, that should say something about how we feel about black women. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest. Most white men don't have the courage to just go and pursue black women. That takes time, and some never get the courage. Unfortunately, and I hate to say it, but that's the truth. And it's not that they don't want that; they're just too afraid to go for what they want. You might say, and and look, and I pray about this thing, and you know, black women can accomplish so many things. And ladies, if you could be the most educated, the most successful in the corporate world, and your marriages are the best with whoever you marry, then why would you not be able to get a Brad? I mean, when I hear black women say, "Well, no, white men ain't really checking for us and this and that," um, I say, "Are you where you need to be, where they're at? Are you in a diverse community where they the men are around black women?" And I tell people this all the time. It's good to be around people that are around people like you because they get to know you. It kind of beats down those stereotypes and generalizations and stuff that people tell you through your life that you don't, and but there is a barrier wall, and we got to break the ice in this. And look, black women are the best choice, and if white guys can't see that, they're either blind or just dumb. It just is what it is. And I just wanted to say this because I hate to see women, you know, down and thinking that the only choice they have is black men, and that ain't true. And I know that's been put into your head. Some ladies have told me this, that a lot of they've been told their whole life that no other men's going to want them, and if they do, it's going to be for a sexual desire or a fetish or something like that, and that ain't true. And and look, you're having more success with non-black men than black men. And I'm not going in on black men. What I'm saying is that is the truth, and you are very much desired. And look, it's the norm for every racial and ethnic group to stay with their own racial and eth- and ethnicity. Okay, that's in the norm. That's what people do because why? Because it's easy. Because they're used to it. They've been doing it for centuries. And a lot of times people don't want to get out of their comfort zone. They don't want to. They don't want to have change in their life. They don't want to change their routine. A lot of people love to have the same routine every day, same old thing, same thing. A lot of people don't want change. They're afraid of it. And there are people in abusive relationships that will stay in that abusive relationship and not open up their options because they're afraid. Even though they might be getting abused, they're familiar with it. And in a way, they're comfortable with it. I'm not saying they're comfortable with abuse, but they they kind of get used to it, you might say. And they might have a better option with someone of another racial group, but they're afraid to step out, even in horrible situations. And I've seen it on both sides. And look, it when it comes to black women and white men, it's not that we don't desire each other or want to be with each other. It's just that a lot of us aren't ready to get out of our comfort zone and open up our options. And that's a shame. And it's shameful to white men because you have an awesome opportunity with black women. And look, a lot of them aren't going to date you because they're race loyal, and that's okay. And don't and look, I'm going to tell you guys this, and I'm going to tell black women, this is my message to you. And I know I'm a white man that's married to a black woman, and but what you're feeling, I felt the same thing. Okay, felt like they weren't going to be interested in you. You know, it just wasn't going to happen, right? You feel like they just don't. They're not attracted to you. They not interested in you. Don't want to be with you. Okay, but get out of that mindset. And look, I didn't pursue black women because I felt that, or I didn't pursue them because a lot of them liked me. It wasn't that at all. I didn't pursue them because I felt like it would be easier to be with black women. No, not at all. They weren't coming for me. I got a lot of rejection with black women, but that ain't the reason I made a choice to pursue black women. The reason I chose to date and marry a black woman is because black women are the best choice. And from what my life and my experiences, that's been the best choice for me. And it don't matter how many like me, it don't matter how many will date me or whatever, because I only need one. Okay. And then think about this. I only need one wife, so 80% can not be interested in me, right? That don't matter. Regardless of the percentage of black women like me when I'm dating, does not matter. They're still the best choice. So I'm going to pursue the best choice. And yes, dating outside your race, the odds are stacked against you. They are. Because black women have been told, not all, but a lot of them, that white men are evil, they're racist, they're fetishizers, and they just want to go after black people, right? So if you've been told that, after time, you're going to believe it. So the odds are stacked against me. If I want to date a black woman, there's going to be a lot of questions. I'm really going to have to prove myself. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing too. If she's interested in having to prove yourself, because if black women would vet like they do white men with black men, you know they would have a better choice, I think. Um, but and maybe that's why our marriages are strong too, because we get vetted. We have to prove ourselves with a black woman, you know. And it's just because of the stereotypes and generalizations and you know history, and so w- as a white man, we're fighting an uphill battle to date the black woman, and that's okay. I would never change a thing. And I would say this to black women: there's going to be an uphill battle, and you're going to be shamed for opening up your options just because you do it. This could be the greatest guy in the world and loves you and takes care of you, but you're still going to be called a bed wench and a race traitor and all this other crap. But, sometimes to get the best option, we have to go through more trials, more issues, and we have to go through more than people that just regularly date. I had to go through more crap being married to a black woman than white men in my family that married white women and Asian women. It just is what it is. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. Uh, it's getting better, but there's still a lot of issues, still a lot of problems. But I would say to black women, look, open up your options. The majority of people in America is white people, right? The black population is about 13%, right? And most of that's black women, about 2 million more black women than black men, approximately. So let's say 7% are black women. What is the percentage of white men? That's the biggest group. Okay, and let's say 20% are interested in dating and marrying you. That's millions more men to choose from. Think about it. But that number is much higher than 20%. I would say 80 to 90% of white men would date and marry black women. I believe that. Not all white men have the courage to approach a black woman, though. That's the problem. But most white men will date black women and marry black women if the situation's right, right? Um, me, I was always raised if you want something, you go for it. And if you don't, that's your fault. And in fact, if you don't go for what you want, you're a loser. You know why? Because you don't have the courage to at least try. Okay. And I was always told that growing up. And, my father was harsh on me. And if I didn't try for a goal I wanted to achieve, my father would say, "You're a loser. Go cry in the corner." Because and that might sound harsh to tell a little boy that, but it makes sense because if you're not willing to try, you can't be successful, you know. And I'm talking to the men because look, man, we got to approach. You want to be with a black woman, you do it. And if you don't have the courage to risk rejection, you are a loser. Point blank. And you know what? When I didn't approach because I was too afraid, I was a loser. You got to change that. Okay? And I'm not saying you're a loser because but I kind of am. Okay? Because a winner goes for what he wants. Now, will you accomplish that goal? Maybe, maybe not. But you got to go for it. You got to get it out there and at least try. Um, I know I'm getting a little off, but I would say to black women, look, you are the best option statistically. And you, and people will say, "Well, you're saying that because you're biased because your wife's black." Well, yeah, I am saying that, but it's truth. It's in the stats. And yeah, I'm biased towards black women. That's my preference. Yeah, I am biased. You're right. I'm not when it comes to dating and marriage, it's not an equal opportunity thing. You go for what you want and what you think's best for you. It's not a first come first serve basis. It's not, you know, but you know, I just wanted to put this message out and I want to just tell black women, look, you're the best option and just claim it, own it. And if men, non-black men give you a compliment, take it. Okay? Not all white men or non-black men give you a compliment for some alternative reason, okay? They just might think you're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. I wish more white men would come out and proclaim their love for black women. I wish white men that date and marry black women would go out there and say it. And the reason I say that is so the world can see that, hey, there are these men that love black women. So black women see that. Because when you're told this group does not like you and you have to stay with your own race because that's all you got, and other men don't say a damn thing, they're going to start believing this crap. So if you're a white man and you got a black girlfriend, black wife, you need to make it known. Do not be afraid to tell people. And damn it, don't be ashamed of it because if you love her, that's a beautiful thing. And that's the reason I say a lot of good things about black women. Number one, because I believe it. Number two, I like to say it. And number three, it makes black women feel good. And number four, it needs to be said. And I don't care if black men don't not like it. I don't care if they get their feelings hurt or feel some kind of way or think I don't have the right to say it. I don't care. Because black women need to be lifted up, and we need to stop this crap of people beating them down. Black women have been beaten down for centuries, and in today's world, now men in their own community are doing it to them, and that needs to stop. And if you're a white man, Asian man, or Hispanic man that's married to a black woman, you need to start saying something. Lift them up. The beauty standard is your wife. The reason our society made white women the beauty standard, you know why? Because the majority of men were married to white women. And the standard of beauty is a man's wife. And if it's not, well, she needs to leave him, because that's supposed to be the most important woman in your life is your wife, right? That's the beauty standard. And it's a shame that a lot of black men out there aren't lifting black women up like that. They're not going out there professing their love for them. A lot of them think it's weak. Oh, you're being a simp because you tell her you love her. Really? My opinion, that's being a man proclaiming the love for the woman you're with. Tell her she's beautiful. Tell her we're supposed to do that. And the beauty standard is my wife, and she's a black woman. So yes, that is the most beautiful woman on earth. Period. In the story. But I just this gets to me though, guys. Really, when I see black women send me a email or a comment and say, "Well, I would date out, but these men don't want to be with me. They don't like us," and that ain't true. And I don't think women should have their self esteem beat down. I don't. And it's sad to see. And a lot of these women probably grew up in black communities, not around a lot of white people. So a lot of white men ain't coming after them, not because they wouldn't be interested in dating them. They're just not around them a lot. There's a lot of stereotypes. Like I said, a lot more white men would approach black women if they felt that black women had their back. I've said that, right? And I think black women feel the same way. Well, these guys ain't approaching me. They stare at me, but they don't do nothing. Are they just nice guys? Something's got to break the ice, and you got to be strategic. But don't get caught up in the numbers, okay? Yes, black women, white men are the least likely to get married. That is true. But they have the strongest marriages, so why wouldn't you strive for the best, right? Just saying. Like I said, I pursue black women not because they they were all showing me love all over the place. There were black women in my life that showed me love, but most of them really didn't even know I existed. To be honest, most of them didn't look at me that way. But you know what? That was still the best choice. I could see the beauty. I could see the value in black women, and that's why I wanted to marry one, and I did. But I did it strategically. You know what? And I found out along the way that a lot of black women believe like I do. I'm a traditional guy. A lot of black women agree with me on so many things when it comes to love, marriage, faith. I think black women are the most traditional, faith based women out there. I honestly, But look, I'm telling you what I think, how I feel. Okay. I'm just an everyday white guy, but this is how I feel. I grew up in a white neighborhood, white family. A majority of the people are white. And if I could see the value and beauty in black women, not being around them all the time, it just blows my mind that men in their community don't see it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But ladies, they've done studies and they found that white men are more open to dating black women than black women are to dating white men. And maybe it's because of the shaming, maybe it's because of the stereotypes, maybe it's because of our history. I guess there's so many variables. Maybe it's getting out of that comfort zone. Maybe they just don't want to hear from their friends and family, bringing that white guy home, how much crap they're going to give them. I don't know. But more white men are willing to date and marry black women than the other way around. And maybe it's easier for us. I think it's easier for me to open up my options than my wife just because of the conditioning, just how the communities are, you know? So when I see those, and ladies, don't lose the faith. Pray about it. You know what? And be where these men are. And guys too, be where black women are. I mean, I would say the best place is a diverse community because you're used to being around each other. Would you ever consider an app for black women and white men? I would definitely sign up. It's hard to meet white men in Arizona. Well, that probably depends on what part of Arizona. Um, some places are easier than others. I think, maybe Arizona's hard, but California would probably be pretty easy. In fact, I lived in California. Actually, it's easier to interracially date, I found out before, when I was young before I got married, I loved it out there because interracial dating wasn't it I don't know, it just seemed easier. It seemed like black women were more open to it. Not to say I couldn't do it at home, but it's a bit harder at home, you might say. But it's not impossible. The best thing is to get into those friendship circles, you know? And if you can do that and become friends before you date, that makes it even better. Phoenix, West Valley? Oh, okay. But yeah, and I don't know. I never I have family that live in Phoenix, but I've never dated over there, so I don't know what it's like. And uh most of my family dates within their race, with the exception of Asian and Hispanic and some Native Americans. So um I'm the only one married to a black woman. But you know what? I got the most successful marriage too. So yeah, networking. It's all about networking. It really is. Think about it as a job, right? And you need to take dating serious, right? Because if you're looking for it for a serious relationship to lead to marriage, you want the best candidate for the job, right? You want and especially for women, you got to be really strategic because you want the man to be able to make a living, provide for you and children you may have in the future. So you got to have some guy that's successful, that's hardworking, you know that can provide. Um, But networking is good because you get with your friends and look, they know about you. And I tell women, I've told women, I says, get with a Becky and become her friend. Okay. That don't mean you need to hang out with her every day, but get in that little friendship circle. Because you know what? If you're interested in dating a Brad or marrying one, guess what? That's who her brother is. That's who her cousin is. That's who the people in her friendship circle are. That's, you know, and it's kind of like a job. You have friends, right? They know your job skills and they tell people at a corporation, well, I know this guy that knows how to do this. He's got this training. Um, he'd be a good fit for the company, right? And then it's networking. I've gotten jobs by networking, right? Coming out of the army, a soldier I had got me the job I have now, and it was networking. And sometimes you pull strings, and hey, I know this guy. He's good at this. He's got training in this. Boom. They see you, and maybe you give them a good impression. You know, a lot of times it's word by mouth, networking. You know, you don't get a job just sitting there hoping somebody gives you one. You got to go out there and you got to talk to people. You put your resume and then you network. Networking is powerful. Also in dating, that friendship circle, going to activities, going to a church where you go once a week or twice a week, right? There's people there. Networking, you get to know people. And you think a church would be a great place to meet someone because they got moral structure, believe in God. But even in the house of God, there's corrupt people. So be careful there too. Always have your standards and vet. But the more people you're around, the more opportunities you have. And maybe Phoenix is a tough place, but you get in that friendship circle. I guarantee there's a lot of white men in Phoenix that will date black women. Um, but you got to also look at this too. It's not a norm for interracial dating. It really isn't. People are doing it more often, but it's still kind of a thing that most people don't do. We're seeing white men dating Asians at a high number. We're seeing white men dating more Hispanic women. Uh, and white men are dating more black women too. But they're going to date Asian and Hispanic women more. You know why? It's not that they're more attractive. It's because it's easier. Asian men really don't give white men a bunch of crap for dating Asian women. They don't. There might be some that are jealous, but for the most part, they don't care or they appear not to care, right? So you don't get that flack. And then within your family, they don't give you no crap because, okay, she's Asian. Great. Nobody cares. Or she's Hispanic. Okay. That's just another group that's close to being white, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. But it's easy. You don't get no flack. You date a black woman, you're going to have people that don't like it from both sides of the coin. Okay. And look, in my family, they're pretty accepting. I was blessed that way. But there were some family members that did not agree with it. There was a couple that give me a problem of it. Okay. But I don't care. I do what I want. I don't listen to nobody. I don't care. You know what I mean? I do what's best for me. So it wasn't a problem. But for people that it is, it's harder to date black women. And then we believe that black women are the ones that don't like us. And black women, there's a perception that they're more resistant to dating white men than other groups of women. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that perception's not out there. Tell me there ain't black women out there that say, you know what? I ain't won't. I would never date a white man. I'm Yeah, no, I would never. I don't care. How could you do that? We hear that all the time. So a lot of times we don't pursue because we think, man, she's going to kick me to the curb anyway. Why even mess with her? But this Asian girl here, she's, you know, nice to me and wanting to be with me, so I'll just go over here. That's what most men do. Honestly, most men that if the woman's beautiful and treats them right, they'll go with her. White men included. But there's that perception that black women just do not date white men. They're not interested. They don't want to be with us. It's black men all the way. How many times they say that? So, ladies, if these guys hear this and they don't just come pursue you, maybe that's one of the reasons. Hmm? Because see, we don't give a damn what black men think. We don't. If we want to be with a black woman, we're going to do it. We don't care what they think. But we do care what black women think because they're the ones we're approaching, right? You know? But see, I'm a whole different person. I don't care about the odds. I don't care how many don't want to be with me or any of that crap. I just know the best option, and I'm going for that best option. And I'm going to find that black woman that loves me. I'm going to do it, and I did it, and I'm blessed for it. And come to find out, more black women were interested in dating than I ever thought would ever be possible. So sometimes those perceptions aren't reality. It's just crap you hear from certain people. And I would tell white men, you want to be with a black woman, you go talk to her. Damn what people think. And you know what? You want to really make an impression? Approach her when her friends are around, when everybody sees you. Yeah, I know. I know that could be scary. You might get rejected in front of everybody, but you know what? You'll get respect because they see you have the courage to just go. They'll say, dang, he goes for what he wants, don't he? And she might turn you down, but one of her friends might be interested. And you know what? That has an impact. That shows you're man enough to walk right up to her and tell her what you really feel. Now, I wouldn't suggest it if there's guys around her because one of them might be her husband or boyfriend. You might get into some trouble. But if she's around her girlfriends or whatever, approach. Do it in front of everybody. Let them know that you know what. Yeah, you can reject me if you want to, but I'm going to talk. I'm going to go talk to her. I don't care. That's the attitude you got to have. Because it's stupid for a man not to pursue a woman because he's afraid of risking rejection. That is the dumbest thing. So you don't want to get rejected from her, so you're going to reject yourself. Yeah, that makes sense. I want to be with her, but I'm afraid she'll say no, so I'm not even going to do nothing. So you get nowhere and you never know. Just saying. But anyway, I can get carried away on this stuff. But seriously, ladies, you have more power than you know. You're desired more than you know. You have more options than just the black man in your community. You got white men, you got Asian men, you got Hispanic men, you got Middle Eastern men. You got look, men that I talk to that I'm around in my community and my job and you know going to church, I've talked to them. And I never hear one say, "Well, no, I wouldn't date no black woman." Heck no. The closest thing to saying that, they might say, "Well, I never have, but I wouldn't mind doing it. I thought about it, but I just never thought I could do it, or I didn't think she would be interested, but I did think about it." Some say I want to, but how what do I say to black women? How do I approach them? Being that they don't like us, what do I do? How do I find the ones that do? That's the things that are told to me. Most of it's a fear factor more than than getting rejected. And this is a good, yeah, all types of men approach us on apps. Yes. And that's because it's easy. It's and look, it takes courage to walk up to a woman that you don't even know and to make your move and tell her that you think she's beautiful and you want to get to know her. But you know what? That's the best way, I think, because she sees what she gets. She sees you. She knows what you look like. She knows how you talk to her. Is he kind? Is he polite? Uh, if she's interested, those are if you approach a woman and she's interested in you, the first impression can be everlasting. You approach her with kindness and love and respect. That goes a long way, and black women appreciate that. They do. Well, I'd say all women appreciate that, but you know, black women are pretty reasonable. The ones that are open to dating other men, they're pretty reasonable. They'll give you a chance if they're attracted to you. Now, if they're not attracted, you're not getting nowhere. But if she's a bit interested, you know, how you approach can be everlasting. And I think it's better in person. I do. I'm not against people doing the online dating thing, or some people have to if they want to date out, because there's they might be in a community that's mostly all black or mostly all white, so they don't have access to other groups of people, you might say. So maybe the dating online dating thing is the thing for them, you know. I'm not against it. What I'm saying is I just think, being in a diverse community, and if you're in the black woman, just approaching her in person, telling her what you think. There's not what's she going to say if you think she's beautiful and you want to get to know her? What's she going to say? Oh, she's going to say, "Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not interested," or she might tell you she's got a boyfriend or something. Then okay, then you go about your way. But then you got the courage, because if you could approach her, you can approach anybody, right? That's the mindset. And black women, you got to give us a sign that you're interested. You got to drop that handkerchief, sort of say, maybe an eye, a look, or, you know, I've gotten courage to approach when a woman just comes up and says hi and smiles. Like, wow, sometimes us guys are dumb like that. We think women are nice to us. They want to be with us. Some of us think that. So I mean, that could go to your advantage, right? And I would say, guys, just because she's nice to you, don't mean she wants to be with you. But if she's nice to you, it might be an opportunity. Who knows? But ladies, drop that handkerchief. Find a way to drop that handkerchief. Don't throw yourself at the guy, but let him know, hey, might be interested here. But if he don't pursue you and you drop that handkerchief, don't mess with him. He's not meant for you anyway. If he don't have the courage to approach you, then you don't need him. And I'm telling you too, and we've talked about this. Look, ladies, white men, we approach different than black men, for the most part. Okay, we have different cultures, the way we do things. Not saying one's better than the other. Okay, I think if white men and black men got together and maybe one that's really forward and a bit aggressive, and one that's kind of reserved, and get a happy medium there. That might be something, huh? Because you got to have the courage. You got to approach. You got to be a little bit forward, but you don't want to be so aggressive that you scare her off, and where she thinks you're some kind of weirdo. But I want to say to ladies and black women, look, women are very beautiful. God created women to be with men so we can come together in marriage, right? All women are beautiful, but nobody has a beauty like black women. And I'm not just talking how they look, I'm talking about their character, I'm talking about their heart, and, you know, just the way they take care of you if they love you. If a black woman loves you, she's going to be there for you. She's I've seen so many black women in horrible relationships and give their heart and soul for the guy. And sometimes the guy she's with don't deserve her. And sometimes it don't last. But one thing about black women, when they make up their mind and their heart's into something, they go for it. They do it. And that's their character. And it makes sense that they would be the most educated because they've made up their mind they're going to do it, and they do it. And even though they have the least amount of resources, they're still the most educated. That says something about black women's character in the collective. It does. Now, are all black women like that? Of course not. But if you look at the stats, black women are the best option when you look at it. And I would say to men, look at the stats, look at it logic, research it. I mean, there's great women in every group, of course, but when you look at the numbers, black women lead the way. It is what it is. So, is it worth it to go through some BS to date a black woman, both from the white and black community? Is it worth it? Damn right it is. Because if you want the best, you got to fight the biggest fight. And blessings don't come easy. You got to fight for the black woman. And that's what, and what I mean is you got to put up with society, what they think, some family members, some so called friends. Yeah. It's easy to date a Becky, right? Because nobody's going to give you no crap. Because society looks at it and says, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But when you date a black woman as a white guy, hold the phone now. People have a problem. But so what? Let them have the problem with it. But it's good to see things are changing. It's good to see that younger people are coming together interracially. And it needs to be. And us as men, we're better when we compete. You know what? And we should compete as men. And the best man wins. And the woman's the prize. And to be married and have a family, you got to earn that as a man. That's not something that you should just be handed to you. You got to earn it. You earn it by working hard. You earn it by having a job, by providing. I remember my father told me, he said, son, if you don't have a job, you don't need to be married. If you can't be successful, you don't deserve a family. And he wasn't talking about being filthy rich. What he's saying was, You got to have a job. You got to be stable. You got to provide. And if you can't do that, you don't deserve to have a wife. You don't. And I tell you, how hard is that to accomplish? You get off your butt and go to work, you can have all that. And it don't take a rocket scientist or a genius to achieve it. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this and rant. Well, this wasn't really a rant. This is just my message to black women. And black women, look, you are the most beautiful. Okay, you are the standard of beauty. And what I say, a man's wife is the standard of beauty. So, ladies, when they say that white women are the standard, well, that don't mean they're the most beautiful. It don't mean they're the best choice in women. It just means that they're the most that are married. So, and a man's standard of beauty is his wife, right? So that's all that is. And the standard of beauty should be a man's wife, right? Because if you're married to a woman and she's not the standard of beauty, something's wrong with that relationship. Just saying. But you know, but don't get down, ladies. I know the dating thing is it can be tough and there's ups and downs. But how you're feeling about men that don't want to you feel don't want to be with you, not come pursue you, not interested, and you want to date out, I know how you feel. I felt that way, because there was that barrier. And there's black women that wouldn't even look at me because I'm a white guy. I know this. That's truth, and that's their right to do that. But what I'm saying is, you're it's going to be more challenging in that way. But the end result is awesome, you know. And then when these guys say, "Well, white men, marry more white women," yeah, because that's in their community. That's what most people do. That's what all groups do. They marry mostly within their racial group, right? That's all races. So when they say that you're not being pursued or desired, and when they throw that well, they marry more white women than black women. Well, yeah. Well, they marry more Asians. Yeah, because it's easier. Because there's not an Asian father ain't going to give you crap dating his daughter like a black man will. I'm just saying. And I'm not saying all black men are like that. Some, will let you date his daughter if you're a good man and he thinks you are. That's out there, but it's easier to date Asian women. I'm just going to say it. Okay? But I never went for the easiest opportunity. I went for the best woman out there, which is the black woman. It was the hardest path to go, yes. You got the most flack, yes. But you know what? Got the biggest reward too. Ugh. The world is anti-black. Well, I'm not going to say I don't know the world. I know how I feel. And, you know, but the world's doing all kinds of evil things. So don't get wrapped up in the world. You know, I don't know if that was something you're saying to me, opening up our options. But yeah. But look, interracial dating and marriage is growing every day. Look at the stats, okay? But don't get wrapped up. And I hate when these guys tell black women, well, black men's all you got. No, well, The white men don't want you. They're going for Asian women. Okay. Well, the reason is it's easier to go to Asian women. Asian women will tell white men they love them more than black women will. I'm just saying. You know, we white men feel more wanted by Asian women than black women. I'm just going to be honest. That's probably why they pursue Asian women more. And the reason I bring this up because I hear people saying that. Well, white men they're either dating Becky or chasing Asian women. Okay, well, I'm telling you why. Asian women are more pursuant of white men than black women are. And I'm not saying women should pursue men, but so when you have a group of women that's showing you more love than the other group, where are you going to go? And I think black women are afraid, you know, to date white men in a lot of cases. A lot of them won't because they're scared. They're afraid what people will think. They're afraid what society will think. They're afraid of the white guy that is he going, you know. And I don't blame black women for being afraid of white men. All the stuff you've heard. If I was told that all my life about someone, I'd be pretty. Yeah, I'd keep my distance, right? So really, the problem is a lot of stereotypes, generalizations, and fear. We overcome that stuff, and you'll see a much higher interracial marriage rate. I'm just saying. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put the link up there one more time. If you guys want to come on before I close tonight, you can. Um, if not, that's fine too. But I'm gonna close this here pretty soon, and enjoy the rest of Christmas night. And guys, I'm gonna have a prayer meeting tomorrow. Um, what time did I say? 11 Eastern. So if you're interested in joining me in a prayer meeting, um, and we're going to talk about black women in this prayer meeting. And I think, look, I think it's necessary for our nation. I think that um, with what's going on, and with black women being the most unprotected, most disrespected, I think we need to pray about that. I think we need to talk about it, and you know, and I think you know us men, we need to show love towards black women. Okay, whether you date them or not, show them some love. You know, and you should show all women love, and we should pray for all women. But we need to emphasize on black women because they are the most unprotected and disrespected. Okay, and that's whether they're outside their racial group or in their racial group. Okay, I've seen it. I've seen a lot of black men go in on black women. Okay, and we see what happens on the news. Uh, we see black femicide, right? What's the number? 4.5 minutes or 4.5 hours or something? It's not good. So I think we need to have prayer on that. I think we need to have prayer on, you know, and this has been hitting my heart, and I know I can't just go out there and fix the problems of the world. I'm just one guy in around millions of people, you know. What can I do? I can talk about it on social media, and I can pray about it, and We're going to talk about that, and then we'll talk about the new year, the upcoming new year, and the holidays and family too. But it's going to emphasize on Black women. Um, you know, and I'm going to read some Bible scripture and stuff, and so join me at that. Um, if you're not a Christian, you can still come in and be part of the show. Okay, all I ask is you just be respectful. Okay. Don't come on debating me about religion. That's not what it's about. It's a prayer meeting. Okay. I, you know, but everybody's invited. Whether you're a Christian or not, you're invited. You could come. Just keep it respectful, especially, when I do my regular shows. People do whatever. I don't really care about trolling, but on a prayer meeting, that's serious. For me, that's you know serving God and you know, doing something for the Lord. That's very important. I don't take disrespect on that. That's, you know, but I haven't got no disrespect on that. Nobody's ever came in and, you know, did anything on that. But, you know, and I think God can fix it, okay? We need to pray about it. I know God can fix it. I'm just saying I can't. As a man, as a white average Joe White guy, what am I going to do? But I can pray about it. I could talk about it. I can maybe influence some people to show more love and respect to Black women. And I think white men should talk about that. It shouldn't just be Black men that look. We're supposed to love one another, right? God is not a respecter of persons. He don't care what color you are, how much money you got, where you came from. He cares about your heart. Anyway, I don't want to get I'm going off topic. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close this. I just want to say, guys, Merry Christmas. God bless you. Thank you for coming on tonight. There's 56 people on right now. I'm impressed. I thought it being Christmas, I was worried. I I was hoping I'd at least get three people to listen to me tonight. But I do thank you guys. And look, I appreciate every one of you. Okay, you have uplifted me. Okay, and you've uplifted my wife Sandy. And my wife Sandy wanted me to tell you guys, thank you for your support. Thank you for the kind words that you say to me and Sandy. And I appreciate that. I appreciate. I've had some trolls say horrible things about my wife. Um, it. I must say it's not many. Okay. They usually come for me, and that's what they need to do. But there's been some idiots that go into my wife. I don't know why they gotta say stuff about wife and some even my children. I don't know why you gotta attack wives and children. That's crossing the line. That's unacceptable. Men going at each other, by all means, do it. Um, but family members, come on. But but I thank you guys for showing me love and support. And you know, I would say through the year, and as long as I've been doing this and as long as I'm going to do this, I just want to say thank you for your support. I want to say thank you for sticking around when I do make mistakes, and I do. Thank you for, showing me your love in that way. That means a lot to me. And I thank you for sticking around. I do. I know I'm human. Sometimes I'll make a mistake. Maybe I might say something that's a little off. Okay? And that's just maybe I don't catch something somebody says or I misunderstand. But that's just me being human. But I apologize to anybody that I've offended. I my I'm not, you know, I don't want to offend nobody. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to tell the truth. The purpose I have is to promote opening up your options for men and women. I think, and I emphasize on black women and white men. And the reason is that's the community I'm in. That's, my life. And I, connect with people in that same, that same area. And I encourage it. And looking at the numbers, look, we have a blessing here, and we shouldn't, don't let that blessing go away. You know, and I think interracial marriage is a good thing. I think it, just bringing people together. Of course, a man and woman come together, but families do too. I tell you, in the holidays, both my family and my wife's family comes together at our house. Me and Sandy, we have our family over for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and and they like to come to our house because we have room. I and People can hang out, and it's out in the far suburbs away from everything, so it's quiet, it's nice. Um, but since me and my wife got married, our families have come together, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, Marriage can be powerful like that. It can, n- not only bring a man and woman together and build a family, but it can bring existing families together. You know, what about Nigerian women? Are you asking me about Nigerian women? I love Nigerian women too. I mean, uh, and people ask me this. They say, okay, they'll tell me, okay, you think black women are the best? They'll say, what about Nigerian women? Okay, that's black women, isn't it? What about Afro Latinas? Well, I love them too. They're black women. I mean, uh, and I've met black women from different parts of the world, and you know what? Most of the black women I've met from other countries, I've been pretty impressed. Seriously, from Africa, the UK, uh, down in the Caribbean and stuff. For the most part, black women are pretty amazing. They're beautiful women. They got big hearts. Black women have character. I mean, and this ain't just in America. I'm saying, in other countries too. I have big love for black women. I do. You know, I think black women are beautiful, most beautiful in the world, inside and out, hands down. You know, might be unfamiliar with very different cultures. Yeah, and I am. I mean, I'm unfamiliar with a lot of cultures, but the women that I've met seem pretty nice and pretty reasonable. Um, you know, but a different culture isn't a bad thing. Getting married to someone that has a different culture, that's not a bad thing. I think it's a positive. You could take things from both cultures and put it together and kind of create your own. That's kind of what me and Sandy did. We're living our life. We just do what we like. Yeah. All are awesome and beautiful. Yeah. But yeah. But anyway, let me go ahead and close this, guys. I enjoyed talking to you tonight, and have a Merry Christmas. And thank you for your support, guys. I love you guys, ladies, gentlemen. Look, you make this happen. You motivate me to come up here and talk. And I don't take this for granted at all. You know, the subscribers and the friends I've met through YouTube and stuff, I embrace that. It's a blessing. And look, whether this channel grows more or if it shrinks, I'm still grateful. If there was 5 people subscribed to me, watching me and interacting, I that would be a blessing. And hey J10, Merry Christmas. Uh but guys, I do appreciate you. I love you. And look, I've met so many people on YouTube. It's been awesome. It's been a blessing. And you know, my email's always open, and I thank you guys for sending me stuff. Um oh, there's a reaction I want to do. I don't know if you guys saw it. Probably most of you did. Uh Paris Milan made a reaction video on this guy. He was a black man married to a white woman, and he was talking about his feelings when he sees a white man with a black woman. It was a good reaction to that, and you got to check out that show. Um, but yeah, and I wanted to find that video and do a reaction because yeah, that'd be something to really break down and talk about because we see this a lot where we even see uh some black men married to white women having a problem with white men with black women. And that sounds kind of silly, don't it? But there there are men like that. It's weird. Um Kind of hypocritical, but that was a good video and I was trying to look for the original to do a reaction because I don't want to use hers that wouldn't be right. But you know, but maybe I could find another video kind of like that because I want to talk about that. You know, that would be, and I've been getting emails of people wanting me to do a reaction on it too. So I'm looking for the original video. I can't find it. I don't know. Maybe he took it down, or maybe it's under Instagram or uh, some other media source. Who knows? But I really want to do a reaction on that so bad. I've been looking for that video. Sandy's been looking for it. Um, was the family home for Christmas? No, not everybody. My son's in Korea, so he wasn't able to come home for Christmas. Well, that's okay. My oldest daughter, she's with her husband's family this year. They take turns going to each family. My youngest daughter was here with us though, and my brother's coming in tomorrow, so that's going to be nice. Some of the family's going to be here, um, but my family. My oldest daughter, she's married and has 2 kids, and you know he's in the military, so they can't always come. My son's in the military, so he can't always be home, and you know but our youngest still with us because she's going to school and stuff. But um yeah, last year I got to have everybody home. That was nice, but this year no. But that's okay. We did some Zoom calls and stuff, so that was good. Yeah, but oh, you watched it from another platform? Oh, if you're talking about that video, please send it. Yes. If that's what you're talking about, I hope so. I've been looking for that thing. I want to do a reaction. We'll have a great show on that. Oh yes, but yeah, I think it's on a different platform. But oh, you seen that Paris Milan? Oh yeah, yeah. I like watching her shows, but that one was really good. I was oh man, she, but I mean the way she does it and explains it is just so professional and just so awesome, and it just I was like, man, that's a good show. I was like, it was like hitting all the points too. Yeah. Yeah, but if you guys haven't seen it, you need to see it. You need to go to Paris Milan's channel and watch that. That was a good reaction live. It was. But anyway, guys, hey, I love you guys. God bless you and your families. I'm going to have a prayer meeting tomorrow. If you guys are interested in that, it's going to be 11 Eastern time, okay? So, and on the West Coast, that's going to be real early. Be like 8 o'clock in the morning. But I'm going to have a prayer meeting. I might do something later on uh Monday. I don't know yet, but I will have that prayer meeting and you know. So if you can be there, come join me and we'll talk about it and but we're going to focus on black women. We're going to pray for black women. We're and if you guys want to come on and talk and tell your opinion, you can. Um but what I want to focus on is prayer and what we can do to make it better within our little community, you know, and how we can get the message out. That's what I want to focus on. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. God bless you and your families. And I'll see you tomorrow. Prayer meeting if you want to come. Um, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Um, and I look, my prayer meeting, I don't discriminate to nobody. Okay. I don't look, everybody's welcome. Okay, as long as they're respectful. Okay, I mean, if people want to serve God and come to my channel but don't agree with what my message is, that's fine. That's the only show I'm going to open it up to anybody because I think when we serve God, we're supposed to open up, you know, to everybody and tell everybody about God. I believe that. Um, Now, on my platform, when we're talking about interracial dating, yeah, there's some people I won't let in there because they don't agree with me and they just want to troll anyway and cause problems. But man, I'm busy. Have to catch you next. Well, yeah. Hey, if you guys missed the prayer meeting, I do have them on my channel and I do save them and I number them too, so you'll know which one it is. Um, and if you want to watch them, you go back and watch it if you want. And what I do is I always I drop the link after the message. So if you want to come on and talk, I always leave it open, you know. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Thank you guys so much. God bless you and your families. Merry Christmas. Ladies, don't get down on yourself. Look, you are the most beautiful woman on earth. You are. Okay? Inside and out. Okay? Look at the stats. The stats validate that too. It's not just me talking. Anyway, and God sees you. He knows. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. God bless.